Sixers coming back from a 3-1 series down to get the win here at TD Garden in Game 7, beating the Celtics 109-100, ending the Celtics season in a game in which the Celtics were down 18 midway through the third, had a few opportunities late in that game to take the lead. Tom Giles, Eddie House, Scal. Eddie, your thoughts on the Celtics and just not being able to kind of get over the hump there?
I ain't going to let you get it all the way out. Disgusted. I'm disgusted by the fact that we had a stranglehold on this series and we weren't able to close it out. We gave them life, and this is 3 games that they won on our home court.
Yeah.
And I'm disgusted behind that because at the end of the day, you're supposed to come here. Playing in the Garden is different from playing anywhere else. I don't care what the Philly fans say. I don't care what the Knicks fans say. Yeah, they're still in the playoffs. They're going to play each other, right? It's different playing in the Garden. And to lose 3 games here at home is disgusting, and to me, is unacceptable.
You want to talk about today or just...
Yeah, your overall thoughts as you come right out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously disappointing that we lost the series. It was a weird game. There's a lot of good things that we did, but when it push came to shove, it seemed like Embiid, Maxey delivered, right? And multiple times, especially these last 3 games. Late in the fourth quarter in Game 5, then we come here and we go over there in Game 6, we're not there. In Game 7, it looks bleak in the third quarter. We get back into the game. And I got to give Embiid credit. Like, I didn't know. There was a time when we were sitting here at halftime, I think it was Game 5, where we were saying we like him on the floor. We're attacking him. He's not impacting the game after a 32-point win in Game 4. But Embiid, from 5 on, was really good. And that was a problem for us.
Do you think that after we won by
32?
32. In Game 4.
32. When we won the first one. Yeah, the first game. After we won, do you think that it was like,
probably.
They sweep.
Yeah,
and you kind of take your foot off the gas.
Yeah, I think our team's like one of the major flaws of, even you could say this Celtic era, right? This group is the arrogance that they think that it's going to be easy to win. I think they know it's hard, but I don't think they play like it's hard to win. You know what I mean? That's you could go back to being up 20. You blow a 20-point lead in a playoff game at home. You're like, wow, that's a rough one. Then the next game you act the same way and you do it again. That's last year. This year, you blow them out. You think it's going to be easy. You go to the fourth, you just think like the crowd's going to carry you home, and it doesn't happen. And then you're in a dogfight. And from that moment, from the fourth quarter on, Philly outplayed the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
So the team that went to the play-in and had the up and down year with Embiid and Paul George missing all those games, and you wonder if Philly's going to even make the playoffs. That team turned around and outplayed the Celtics for half of Game 6 on all of Game 7. No, I'm sorry, half of Game 5, all of Game 6, and then most of Game 7.
I got a question for you, Scal, and it's just one thing. You've been around the team, you travel with the team all the time. Do they have that guy that changes everybody's mentality?
I do think they have that.
Okay.
I think it's Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. I think those guys are the leaders. It's just like, from whatever happened from Game 5 on, the series was, the fourth quarter was the start of it.
Okay.
And maybe you gave a team that had, Paul George in his prime was pretty good. Embiid was the MVP at one point. Played like an MVP today. You have a young up-and-coming star like VJ Edgecombe, and we can go down and talk about the all-star Tyrese Maxey, a starter in the Eastern Conference. When you look at what they have, on paper it looks really good. And you didn't think that team was going to deliver, but they did. And once they had it going, it almost became overwhelming for us to turn it off. And instead of going to like the same identity that we played with all season long, it felt like we went to our heroes and we played a little bit of hero ball.
And on top of that, I'll say this as well. The teams that gave us problems this year were the teams that had played fast and had 2 guards. 2 guards that really would attack us and put us in action and put us on our heels. And I think that's what Philly did. You got to give them credit. I'm not going to sit here and act like we just totally just failed and not give Philly credit, because at the end of the day, do I feel good about it? No, I don't.
No, but they outplayed us.
They got stronger as the series went along, and
they sure did.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of those crucial plays down the stretch. And they're the TD game highlights presented by TD Bank of the Boston Celtics, member FDIC, TD Bank NA. Again, they were down just one. And
that's a wide open three off a pick and pop.
That
in
changes
and out.
the game right there. We go up 3 right there, I believe.
Look at this play right here.
That would
inside.
Would have given the Celtics a 1-point lead as well. And then nice block here by Jaylen Brown on Paul George. I mean, everyone was just standing waiting for the Celtics to take the lead in this game. They had the momentum.
It's a wide open Pritchard shot. Yeah.
And then obviously it was Tyrese Maxey who was the closer for Philly a couple times in this series, including tonight. Coming up with this right here to make it a 3-point game. He gets another bucket to extend the lead to 5.
And give Nick Nurse credit for that, because he went at Keita 2 possessions in a row when Keita wasn't guarding Embiid. So they got Keita, who was guarding Oubre, in the action, back-to-back possessions. Smart play by Philly, good execution by Tyrese Maxey.
Is there something to the fact that they had to come back from an 18-point deficit where that takes a lot of energy? It takes a lot of energy, and that affects the shots late in the game?
No, so I don't think this game in particular had that same feel. That has been a case in the past. I felt like once we were down by 1, for whatever reason, we couldn't get over the hump. Missing a shot, and B making a big bucket. It was like we just could not see how Philly was going to react if they went down. And I think the Jaylen Brown 3 was the one where we could have put us up by 2.
Right.
And I looked over at Kayla, I was like, it'd be interesting to see how Philly would have reacted if we went up by 2. But they never had to. It's almost like they kept control of the game, even though it was a 1-point game.
That's how it usually goes, too. When you're climbing up that hill, trying to get back, then all of a sudden you look up and you can't get back. You miss these shots. You get another stop. You get another opportunity. You're not able to score. You have to get over the hump. Think about this. And again, I can only refer to when I played the game, and when we were down 24 against the Lakers. If we never got over that hump, do you think we win that?
Obviously not.
Exactly. No, I'm saying, no, we brought it to 2 points at the end of the third quarter.
No, that's exactly right.
But if we weren't able to get the lead at one point, then it's like...
He's right. There's something about the 3 that puts you up and the coach on the other team calls timeout, and then all of a sudden that goes down, right? And it's a different huddle. But Eddie's right. Like, if you're going to stage a comeback, at one point you have to have the lead, right? And we never got there. And I just didn't feel like Embiid, Maxey, any of those guys ever lost their cool. And maybe because we never went over that hump.
Yeah, they weren't shook at all. That's the one thing I did see about both of those guys. Paul George wasn't shook. Edgecombe wasn't shook. He hit that one shot in the corner. I mean, you got to give credit to Philadelphia. They came out and balled out tonight.
Celtics had one lead in this game. It was in the second quarter when they hit a 3 to go up 37-36, but Philadelphia otherwise taking control, taking the series. They win this game 7, 109-100.
You are ugly.
The Zenny game recap presented by Zenny Optical, official eyewear of the Boston Celtics. We'll take a quick break back right after this.